All right. We are live. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Trying a new thing here with a bit of the IRL stream. I'm gonna go ahead and get my view of the stream up here so I can see what's going on. Go. Yeah, there we are. Cool. We are live. I'll be able to keep an eye on the chat here a little bit. But we are live down here in the workshop. It's been a little while since we've been in the workshop. And I'm pretty excited because what you can't see yet. Encrypted, welcome in. I have no button. I have no button to hit for the sound effects. Welcome, my friends. So I'm excited for what we got going on here today because this workshop, I'm going to step out of the way so you can see it a bit. It is an absolute mess. It is a nightmare. There's stuff on the floors. I got projects piled high. I got a whole workstation over here covered with projects that are unfinished, tools not put away. I got new equipment that came in from Elegoo. This was something we picked up from, this was a reward for channel points when we had a bit goal that we passed. This is actually sort of two pieces of equipment in one for the resin prints, and I'm really excited to open that up and actually be able to implement it. But right now, there's nowhere for it to go. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, and I kind of think maybe because I went to the trouble of setting this up. What you can't see is that the camera I'm using right now is actually my iPhone, and because of that, I know that I can walk it around and kind of show things. So I think what I might do first, like the first thing we might do is like a real quick workshop tour, kind of show like where everything is, what everything is, and kind of what needs to change here. So I'm going to grab this off of the tripod and start walking it around, and we'll see if we can get this place in shape here, because it is a mess. Day without darkness. Welcome, my friends. I don't have the button down here. The IRL setup is a little bare bones comparatively. The alerts should still work. The ticker's still there. The chat doesn't appear to be appearing on screen, so that's a problem. Let's go see what's going on there. Oh, I see the problem. That ought to fix it. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be an uphill battle, okay? This is a new setup that I'm messing with that I threw together pretty quickly so that we could get a lot done. But let's take a quick tour, a quick whip around down here, and I'll show you what I need to fix tonight and where I need to focus, because that's going to help me figure it out. So, taking you off of the tripod here, we're gonna move around. This is where I'm watching the stream myself. So this is where you all usually see me stream from. And as you can see, there's tools scattered all over, jars, paintbrushes that have been left out. I've got a bunch of our project vehicles still sitting here that have not been assembled, some spare Joey Nails figures. All kinds of, this is a huge mess. This should be a blank slate, you know? This should be ready to go. I've got, like I said, new equipment here that I'm dying to crack open. We got some unfinished project pieces here as well, some trucks, some little wind-up toys. I've got some painted parts that need to be put away, different pieces for future projects, little bits and bobs from some other vehicles, parts of a Dremel and clamps in my drying rack. It's a mess here, okay? It's cool, but it is a mess. Piles here of some different toys and things, even some empty boxes, different clamps and stuff kind of laying about. This little rack has been really handy. I set it in front of the air purifier, and the breeze from that is enough to dry the resin prints after they've been cleaned. So this is going to stay, and I like the cardboard as sort of what goes underneath them, so there's sort of a catch area, and you'll see it looks really clean, and that's because all that drips off of those toys is rubbing alcohol. So it evaporates away very quickly and no stain or anything. So that's pretty useful. This, I use my empty protein containers for all the support material from the 3D prints. I just dump stuff in there. We got gloves. This is a colorful mess. This is where I do all the sort of preliminary cleaning of resin prints. We have some old project prints, Yoda that I printed. This is all filament. We got the Joey Chitwood car and some other various toys, some Strand Beasts up there. We got, let's see, these are all resins for printing. This is a broken and no longer functional ultrasonic cleaner. That's going to go, and it's going to be replaced by that new piece of tech we had back there sitting on my Bigfoot monster truck chair. This is the curing box that I have, and it is quite small, hand for scale. It's just a little bigger than a hand. And again, going to be much bigger because in there, that is both a cleaner and a curer for resin prints. This is something that I'm actually pretty proud of, and I'm going to grab the tripod because to show this off, you'll need to see it. And the resin be reused. So the resin is what turns into the plastic parts. So it's it's being turned into the plastic. Thankfully, the little bits that you're seeing spilled all over here, all that stuff, that is just whatever drips off, like little bits that are uncured on it that drip away. This stuff, the support material, is also fully cured, can't be reused, but it looks like it's a lot. It's actually, I can't touch it because I'm not wearing gloves. It's mostly teensy all those little sticks are smaller than a toothpick. So it's actually much more economical than the offcut pieces from filament. Filament, you end up wasting a lot more, but filament is also easier to recycle. So there's some trade-offs there. I do want to show this off. This is my enclosure, my homemade enclosure for my 3D printer. When you're printing with filament, cross breezes and temperature changes are really bad for that. And with resin, there's a bit of like not fumes necessarily, but there are vapors that come off it that are not great to breathe in. So having this enclosure keeps all of that away, and it's insulated. I've got insulation on all the sides, and this is insulated shower curtain material. And what I've done, I 3D printed a little handle here. And I want to make sure you all see this. Up on my ceiling, I 3D printed a little hook. So when I need to get into my enclosure to work with my printers, I'm very proud of this, I hook the handle up on there, and now I have access to everything. These are my resin printers. I can take you back off there. That was really what I had to show there. These are my two resin printers, the big one and the little one. The big one is currently covered with Perry minifigs that have printed. The little one has nothing in it at the moment. These are my two filament printers, currently not running. There's no projects running on them at the moment. Down here we have spare tools and things for all the printers, storage for things like spray paint, that kind of stuff. But yeah, a lot of this is okay as is. This doesn't need to move. This is all toys that have been gifted to me by fans. There's boxes and boxes of monster trucks, old and new, some RC grave diggers that were gifted to me, some other toys in there that are pretty unique and cool. I have a few pieces that I've kind of pulled that I like to display. This is an early 3D printed monster truck prototype. But yeah, a lot of cool toys. So that's one side of the workshop. The other side is a huge mess here. Okay, we've got costume parts. This is my brother-in-law dressed up as a Nintendo Switch for Halloween one year. I got stacks of Ninja Turtle toys, trading cards from when we did the trading card stream, some storage pieces. There's piles of wood from things that have been disassembled just kind of everywhere. This is all toys and project toys stacked in different flats. More toys and project toys, tools. tool storage, material storage. This is a mix. This is like collectibles and things. This is all tools again, more tools, all kinds of spare materials here. A collection of monster trucks, the RC truck my dad and I built, along with a 3D print and some other pieces. We built that on stream. This is a old blueprint for a machine my dad designed. I believe, if I recall correctly, the date on it shows that it's like a couple days before my second birthday. That's pretty cool. Nicobene says, can you come organize a craft area for me? As soon as I'm done cleaning this up, let me tell you, it is a mess. We got the old school Radio Shack truck that still needs to be fixed up. Camera that someone gave me for free that I don't really like so much, but I'm still tweaking it and messing with it. A whole bunch of extra storage. That sick Play School Familiar Places Holiday Inn playset. And then it gets worse when I look over by the table saw and there's like cardboard and stuff, more tool storage. It's pretty bad over there. Continuing with the tour, though, that's only one half of the basement. We are very lucky. We have a huge basement. The other half over here behind me is a bunch of storage. This is my green screen studio, currently not lit, and there's a bunch of storage blocking it. Washer, dryer. Here's where I do my cardio. And the reveal of the basement gym. We haven't seen this on stream in a long time. I haven't streamed a workout in a long time, but Preacher Curl with Easy Curl Bar, power rack that was gifted to me by Rip Bison, bench that I got off Amazon, but then was reinforced. That bottom piece is all welded in by Rip Bison with leg extension. We got squat rack with barbell. I built that. I built that plate rack. That plate rack was a spare from Rip Bison. Dumbbells aplenty. Pull down. Also a Rip Bison original. Got some blow molds. TV that I sometimes turn on if I need entertainment while I'm lifting. Sometimes I ignore it. We got monster truck flags everywhere. This one and this one were gifts from Alan Nadu. The rest were all gifted to me at shows that I attended. On the wall, we got my cage match with Levi Shapiro from my Loser Leaves California match. A bunch of other wrestling art, juggling clubs. We got sumo support banners, bands, all kinds of good equipment here. Collection of action figures. Got to keep the inspiration alive in the gym. The Monster Jam blanket, a whole bunch of very cool. A lot of these were gifted to me as well by fans. Autographed Bigfoot collage. This was the very first monster truck promo I ever cut. These were from when I was in the Bigfoot fan club that my mom signed me up for when I was just a wee little Perry. More fan gifts. This one was gifted to me at the Monster Truck Hall of Fame Museum. That I discovered still on the wall in my brother's old bedroom from when we were kids. Timmy Chitwood, Joey Chitwood's son. More gifts from fans. All of these were gifted to me by fans. All these monster truck pictures I framed. And then fan artwork welcoming me and Rip Bison back from Japan, our first show back. And that is because then I'm wireless. I don't have to shout if I'm across the room. You got it now? Got it now? I think the headphones are connected again. We good? Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Fantastic. All right. Thank you for the heads up. I hope you didn't miss too much of the tour. I think most of it's a little self-explanatory. It's just cool stuff in the gym and what have you. How early into that tour did the sound cut out? I saw 105. I was saying it and didn't realize the mic was out yet. 105 is crazy. The 20 for encrypted cryptid is definitely a technicality. Like there was some like stream got cut off and they didn't get all of it. Okay, so you got most of the tour. That's good. We have a lot to do, is really the gist of what I said at the end there. This area about right here is where the new equipment has to go. The new equipment is kind of large and is going to take some serious space. So there's a lot to do. And I'm going to get started, and I'm going to rant and ramble while I go here. If you have questions, please post them in the chat. If I don't respond very quickly, it's just because I'm not right next to the computer here. But I swear I will check in every so often. I will try to be vigilant about that. But if the sound cuts out again, I guess start spamming emotes, and maybe I'll see that from across the room. All right, for now, that can close. That can get out of the way. I think some of these things I might be able to put up on top of that. I don't really want to put a ton of stuff up there, but it is a space where I don't have anything. So if need be, I can do that, you know. For now, my drill and my impact driver can go over on their appropriate rack out of the way. There we go. That's a start. First bit of progress. I'll take it. All right, this is soft materials that can go up here. I guess the new equipment can stay here and in the way. Gotta keep myself motivated. Got these spare Joey nails. These are gonna go into the vending machine. So people will have a chance to get a Joey nails. There's not many, and one of them will stay with me for my archives. But there's a couple. There's a couple of them. All right, let's get these project trucks safely out of the way. I still have miniature paintings that I need to do. I got a miniature that my brother set me up with that he wants me to paint for him for one of his tabletop games, and I've had it for a couple of months and haven't gotten to it. All right, I do have my multi-tool and a Sharpie because I often need to label things. Don't mind me throwing stuff off frame. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're going to see me like awkwardly taking big steps around stuff. That's because like down here, there's our dehumidifier. That's really important if you're going to have a 3D print workshop in New England in a basement, because filament in particular, the filament that you print with on a 3D printer is hydrophilic, and it will absorb any and all moisture right out of the air. It just wicks it right out of the air. And once it has moisture in it, when you're heating it up to print, when you're getting it up to the kind of temperatures that it takes to melt and be extruded, that water, of course, does what water does under extreme heat, and it will evaporate. And when it evaporates, it has to get back out of the plastic. And when it does, it pushes its way out in a million tiny little pinholes and essentially turns the plastic into like a foam. And you cannot print with plastic that is being pushed out of a nozzle as a foam. It makes a crazy mess. Nothing works right, and it can really muck up the nozzle on a 3D printer. So, yeah, you got to be really careful about climate control in a 3D print environment. And that's something that thankfully I haven't had to learn the hard way. I've been really vigilant since the early days. I was clued into that very early on. I tend to obsess a little bit about the nitty-gritty of what needs to be done for my various hobbies. And that, as it turns out, is a huge blessing, because I'm usually aware of a lot of the big pratfalls that one can fall into long before they have a chance to to negatively impact my life. All right. Oh man, I got all kinds of stuff here. This is, some of the stuff is like, there's materials, there's soft goods, there's, machine parts. I've got a whole thing of drill bits sitting out here, but then I also have like small tools that go to God knows what. Drill bit, more drill bits. All kinds of stuff kind of sitting around. My collection of clamps that I use for painting, which of course we've talked about before, are all just little, essentially cheapo chip clips from the dollar store, and they are great for what I use them for. Like, they are great for that purpose. Okay. Yeah, we're making, this is all right. This is going to be okay. This is good progress. Like, what you're seeing doesn't look like I'm getting anywhere, but I swear I am. I do keep some of the clamps up here. They may have to move. They might be blocked by the new machine when it goes up, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I think I have to keep that open. I got too many clamps that I store there. It's convenient clamp storage. It's a solution my wife set up while I was in Japan. I think I've talked on the channel before about how she kind of redid my whole workshop for me while I was in Japan. She like really took the time to like take things apart that weren't working. More equipment. She took things apart that weren't working. She rebuilt things. She reorganized things. She was an absolute lifesaver in that regard, and really like breathed new life into the shop here. Okay, that paintbrush is gonna need some time to soak if it's coming back to life. Holy cow! Yeah, every once in a while I'll find a paintbrush that got left out somewhere it shouldn't have been left out. That's tough. All right, here's a lid with no jar to accompany it. And I'm guessing that jar has long since been disposed of. So I will follow suit with this lid. I think she likes it. Yeah, I hope so. I sure hope so. But I'll tell you what, if she doesn't, I ain't looking for a replacement anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like, I joke with people all the time that I have the easiest relationship there's ever been. Like, the closest thing we get to arguing is we will raise our voices about things we agree on. Which also spawned how I describe marriage to my friends when they ask, like, what's it like to be married? I tell them, whether you agree or disagree, you will argue. And that's kind of poking fun at it. That's not really what it is. What it is we're willing to be passionate in front of each other. Like, we're willing to like get worked up and amped up about something and feel like we don't have to hide it. So we will shout about things we're very like passionate about and that we care about. But we're always on the same side, which is kind of funny when you think about it, that we'll go raising our voices and getting all worked up, and we completely agree on whatever it is that's being discussed. All right, I need to start combining some like things here because I have a lot of toys that need to find a new place to live, and I have a lot of mid-worked projects that need to find new place to live. Like this guy. Some of you, it's the same for you. Some of you may remember my project to make little wind-up wrestlers, a little play set for those. And this was an early prototype that wound up being far too big and far too heavy. This ended up being much closer to what I needed. And I may well still end up selling something like this. It got derailed a little bit because I had some easier projects to work on. Maybe we'll do some kind of giveaway with some prototypes that I wound up not working with. Who knows? All right, every so often I'm going to be stepping right past the camera to go put stuff away, and I apologize for being off camera. I'll try to ramble a lot while I'm off screen to make up for it. You know, you're all tuning in for entertainment, not to stare at an empty basement workshop. Stacks and stacks of boxes of screws. I've got so many screws, and I know when the time comes where I'm building that basement studio, I won't have enough, and I won't have the right ones, and I will have to buy more. Because it seems like owning a home is just periods of time in between trips to the hardware store to buy stuff that you already bought. All right. Hot glue gun can get put away for now, along with the heat gun I see is out. And those all go in the same thing. I've got a little bin down here that is, of course, blocked by a bunch of stuff. All right, let's see here. Yeah, there's the one. And the heat gun can also get packed away. It's still plugged in. Oh, good to know if I needed it in a pinch. It had power. You know, you never know when you're suddenly going to need your heat gun. See what's going on in the chat. I'll get caught up here. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to be around people that you're that comfortable with. You know. All right, these are all used paint cups. I hate throwing them away because this is the New England resource hoarder in me. I buy sleeves of 40 little paper cups, you know, the size of a shot glass. I buy sleeves of those from the dollar store. You know, you 36 of them for $1, right? And I will put paint in them, mix it up, and use it, and then feel bad about not reusing it and throwing it out. I'm not going to get good reuse out of it. It's already got dried paint in it. If I put fresh paint in it, it's going to end up with chipped bits all up in there. Right? I have to work hard to remind myself of that. Now, one of the things I'm really aiming to do here that I would love to accomplish is to have a more permanent space set up for my airbrush. I never use my airbrush, and I wish that I did. It's such a great tool. It's so valuable for a lot of the miniature work that I do. Oh, I got extra Bigfoot tires. Going in there. This Bigfoot's in really good shape. You know, it's so hard when you have multiples of a toy to pick which one you will put on display. But like this one, I don't know if the light's catching that. This thing is 1986. This toy was released, and it is pristine, like really nice. The decals are still fresh and everything, and it's still a #2 in my collection. The Rolling Thunder, same thing. Looks really, really like there's a little bit of paint chipping in the upper corners, but like generally speaking, this looks so crisp. But they did not make the cut for display. They're going to go in the box with a bunch of the rest of them. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm just having to chuck, and you know, it really is. It's a New England inclination to be like, no, that's still good for something that I'm never going to use for, and I'm trying to get better about that. You know, I think it is a toxic impulse to be wasteful, as much as it is a toxic impulse to hold on to things that you may never use. And I'm trying to get better about all of that. These are more in progress projects that are not going to fit the rest. So I'm going to have multiple like in progress boxes, I guess. Those who haven't seen them in a while, this is a project going on 2 years because I have been dragging my feet. This is my Toxic Crusader replica that I made and painted on stream here. His weapons are still unpainted and sitting in a box over here. This whole stream is just me outing myself for projects I've not finished. I have things hanging on a drying rack that are still not done somehow. What can you do? I'm only human. I'm only human. Well, I mean, I guess I'm human monster truck, but still, I'm only human. All right. Oh, this is cool. I know I've shown this on stream before, but it's worth grabbing the camera again. One of the delightful things that my wife did while I was in Japan was to build me an entire drawer for my acrylics because I use them a lot and I have so many because they're so versatile. The fact that I can use just water or a combination of water and Windex or a combination of water, Windex, and rubbing alcohol. And when I thin that paint down, it can go into the airbrush and it works really well. Means that those little cheapo craft paints are just indispensable. And I mean, you've all seen the work I do with them. I sell toys that I paint with that stuff because when done correctly, when done right, and preferably given a clear coat afterwards, it is a durable and good-looking paint. You just have to take your time with it. Oh, this is a tool. I know I've talked about this on stream before. This is a tool that is so useful and more people need in their workshop. It's a dental clamp or surgical clamp. On the end, it looks like scissors, but it's just a slightly toothed clamp. And on the back end are these two interlocking pieces. And when you close it, it's closed and will clamp onto whatever you have, and you can hold it in any orientation. A really simple and spectacular tool. I got this for, I think, 50 cents at Brimfield. So a great piece to pick up if you can find them. There used to be a dollar store type store, a thrift store of sorts, in Thorns Market in Northampton. And they had racks and racks of old dental and surgical tools that were incredible. It was an incredible resource if you're a sculptor or if you paint miniatures. It was an incredible resource for that stuff. And I did not pull the trigger on getting all the things I wanted there. And then during COVID, that establishment shut down and I never got to go back. And the stuff was cheap. Like we're talking like $2 for a buck. It was the same as Brimfield prices, only all the stuff was brand new. I regret that a lot. I think about it way more often than I ought to because, again, reflecting on could-haves and should-haves, while there's lessons to be learned there, is a fairly toxic impulse and one that should not be chased. All right. This is good. I'm finding a lot of trash, a lot of things that should have been thrown out long ago. Boxes that 3D print resin came in can go in the recycle pile. Some of this is going to end up actually burnt instead of recycled. That's a big project I have coming up when my temp gig ends, which is pretty soon. I'll be building a small fire pit in the backyard. We're buying Firestone and doing it right. I always had one of those little metal ones, but I want a nice one. So that's one of the things that we're treating ourselves to once I have a little bit more free time. Nothing says free time like fun employment. All right. Sandpaper goes in the sandpaper drawer. Yes, I have a whole drawer for sandpaper. Got my little cleanup clippers and my little tweezers. Those live with the 3D prints. Got more clamps that need to go back up on the wall. Always good to have those clamps. Anytime, basically as a rule at this point, if I pass through the dollar store, I will buy a package of every type of small clamp they have, just one. Because I know I always need more. And I know that I wreck the ones I have. I'm not easy on my tools, especially if they are cheap tools that I know are easily replaced. I tend to be pretty rough on that stuff. you know, I get my money's worth, I think is a better way of putting it. I make them work for their time with me. More sandpaper. Fires can go away. Random, all kinds of random bits and bobs, and we're going to make some. This is huge progress. Like, this may not seem like much has happened. The fact that this is moving at all puts me way ahead of where I was even yesterday. Dang, that's quite the basement. Reed H. Cooper, welcome, my friend. Yeah, we gave a little bit of a tour earlier. This is only one half of the basement. The other half is my gym and my green screen studio. But yeah, 3D printers, 3D print workstation. A lot of this is used for model painting. That's right, Reed Cooper's new. He hasn't been here when I've done these projects before. I'm going to show him a little bit because I know he'll appreciate it. He's a toy guy. One of the things I'm really proud of, these little die-cast monster trucks are largely like Walmart body on an entirely 3D printed chassis and wheels that I made myself. Same with this guy. This camper I made. There's one of the Perry prototype trucks. This one has a custom chassis that I made for it. In this one, that looks exactly like an original supercharger. Chassis and wheels are all 3D printed by me. That's all replicas that I modeled up. There's prototypes of different toys. I got my Toxic Crusader that I 3D printed and painted. Yeah, all kinds of like unfinished projects. So some cool stuff, but the workshop has gotten away from me with production for myself and for others. And as a result, we're having to do some serious work to get it back in shape tonight. And we got new equipment that needs to be set up. And I can't set it up because there's nowhere for it to go. All right, this falls under collectibles. Go there for now. All of this is going to be a project for another day. Oh, I just found stuff I've been looking. This is the thing. When you do your cleaning, when you properly go through and clean a space, you find things you've been looking for. My goodness, I've been looking all over for this. Okay. Now I know where that is, and I would write it down on my phone, but my phone's my camera right now. So I think I need to just put it somewhere more prevalent where I will see it. And that's going to be right on these shelves because that's where I looked for it before and was shocked that it wasn't there. Those are trading cards, Monster Truck and WCW trading cards that I'm planning to use for mystery boxes and what have you. Nice. Who needs official Toxie toys? That's exactly right. The model for that was done from people who have 3D scanned the original Toxie toy, and I did not want to pay collector's rates for a Toxic Avenger toy because they are incredibly expensive. Like, they are absurdly expensive, and they are not plentiful. They are hard to come by. Thankfully, the 3D print world is full of nerds who obsess about things the same way I do. And they have done a good job cataloging different toy parts and things. All right. Some of these are stuff that needs to be put away with other items that I can't get to right. That is disheartening. Some of these are prototype pieces that could be chucked. Let's see, some of these are prototype pieces that need to stay. My little play school, Little People Perry needs to stay. This can go, this can stay. Both of these bodies can stay. These prototypes can stay. Yeah, this is the hard part now, is going through things and having to look at them and just make hard decisions. Both of these are functional and for big project. This piece I'm sad to part with. This is, I'll show this real quick. This is a chassis meant to fit the Hot Wheels monster truck bodies with a lot of detail in there. I don't know if it's going to show everything. It might focus, it might not. You know, I know how finicky cameras can be, but there's a little driver and all kinds of good detail on this. Which way do I need to move? I need to move this way to get more on camera. There we go. And yeah, it was a little bit too, the distance from where the body connects to where the tires went was just a little too long, so the whole thing sat a little too tall to look right. So I had to redesign it, and yeah, so I did. And see, this is that like weird New England inclination to not get rid of things. A part of me doesn't want to throw this out. Like I feel like I want to do something with it, but I can 3D print another one. It used like no plastic. This is like 30 cents worth of plastic, if that. And I still have the file for this, I think. So I'm going to cut the loss and throw it. These are some tires that I printed that were sort of failures on the connection side. The parts that need to connect were not sized correctly, so those got to go. Let's see, what else needs to go? This is all keepers, I think. Yeah, that's all keepers. These are parts that need to stay. These are, for those who were here before when I was doing all this, sanding bucket, sized for a very specific, oh, here it is. Sized specifically for this old die cast, and it does fit beautifully. Like it looks right in there, you know? And then I also have a very oversized, but purposely oversized, and I think now fully painted plow that I designed those on stream. It's going to connect right on the front like that. I think that's going to look really cool. So those parts can stay in the active project pile. I have a lot of active projects here. This is one of the nice things about this stream is we're going to go back and forth between me getting a lot of cleaning done and me doing some show and tell. This most people will recognize as a combination of Fisher-Price Familiar Places and Play School Little People, or other way around, Fisher-Price Little People, Play School Familiar Places, car and the Little People. And I wanted my own, so I designed, at the same scale, a little monster truck version with little tire treads and the engine and the roll bar and a little Perry. And it still needs some refinement until it's done. It has a little ways to go, but it's off to a good start, I think. All right, so those can go in here, and it looks like we're going to have at least two flats. Two of these cardboard flats that are full of, ooh, I got Pogs and, yeah, I didn't know I had these. Pogs and Slammers. I got a bag of those over here. Got to keep all those together. Guys, check it out. I didn't even realize I had this. Look at my sick Fantasia 2000 Pogs. Look at that. I forgot that was there. Totally sick. All right, that goes with the other Pogs. I do have a huge bag of Pogs. And good news, you guys. The Perry Von Vicious Pogs shipped. They are on their way, and they should be here tomorrow or Friday, which means if I can get this workshop together tonight and get my slammers printing, then the Perry Von Vicious Pog sets will be on sale this weekend at Pro Wrestling Grind. This is collectible stuff. I can go there. What am I stepping on? Oh, I can move. All right. We're continuing to make some solid progress here. I have my little USB turntable. This is very useful for all my live streams with all my miniatures, but it doesn't have to stay down here. And go, I think we're going to start a flat for camera equipment because I have a lot of it down here from all the streaming. So spare flats are down here. That can go there. That can go there. These clip pieces can go in there. And I do, in fact, have an entire spare camera with a holder and a cable that can all go in there. So we're going to close that up, Yeah, this is, look, what's going to seem to a lot of you like not much is happening here is actually massive, massive progress. All right, this can get put away. Sandpaper goes back in the sandpaper drawer. I keep finding more sandpaper. Okay, here's some more bits and bobs. Oh yeah, some of these are works in progress. We got some parts of a Delmy that I don't know if I'm going to ever finish. Got spare monster trucks. There's always more monster trucks. We got some extra pieces of, I think this is for the, what, the little people head? Yeah, it could be the little people head. Got a spare tractor puller. Got some extra pieces here. I think some of this is definitely trash. Like, these are good. These can stay. This is a prototype from a tractor puller that I was working on. This was just going to be the chassis, no body on there. It was sized a little bit off, so I didn't use it. But I think I have some bodies here. I can kind of show you the idea. It was going to be like a funny car puller. And so it would have one of the die-cast bodies on it, sort of like this. The sizing wasn't exactly what I was looking for, and a lot of this was a little too chunky when all was said and done, but it was a good prototype piece just to see what was possible. And I do have the files that I can always refine and work on more later. Okay, the Dremel parts, I think I can go in the sanding drawer because that's 99% of what I use the Dremel for is sort of sanding and shaping. The Dremel itself, off-brand Dremel, I do not have a name brand Dremel. I'm not sure why. I believe it's going to go... One of these is labeled for it. That goes with the sanders. Oh, this is huge. I am improving my life with every passing moment here. I got the Ron Rudat art print of the Tajiri retro style figure. It was gifted to me by Joey Nails when he bought the Tajiri figure. Eventually that's going to get a frame, but for now it lives in this binder sleeve, and I think it should go up on the wall somewhere probably. So I'm going to put it right here where I'm not going to forget it because it's facing me. This is all trash, thankfully, so it can all go. And that feels good. Feels good to be rid of that. He's jealous of that. Guys, I miss my soundboard. I'm not used to streaming without my soundboard anymore. This is material for axles. These are blanks for wind-up toys. That's all really important, and I think can stay here in this container. The rest of what's in this container, though, is trash. Goodbye. Get out of my life. Out of my life. All right, we got cut-off wheels for the Dremel. Sculpting tools go over here. There's a little squirt bottle of water goes with the paint stuff. Latch material goes here. Desktop kitty cat vacuum goes over here. Depressor sticks go with the paint brushes. All right, we're starting to make some real progress here. Spare cables definitely go with the camera stuff. Okay, more raw materials because I have more projects. One of the things I love to do is turning different die casts into monster trucks. And I have a whole bunch that I picked up. I got some like old classic pickups that I think are going to look really cool, ripped apart and turned into monster trucks. Then I got some like sort of, you know, mid-90s style. There's a Blazer and like a Chevy pickup. And all of these are basically like the 80-cent, like Walmart, Dollar Tree kind of bodies. And I like working with cheap materials like that. It makes me feel okay about screwing it up. So these need to go somewhere where, like, this is the thing is now I have to start cataloging things. Like, things have to go with like things so that they're all living in a place that makes sense. So right now that's going to go with these toys because these are not homemade. These are actual toys. I got, oh, the little, these are my spare lights for the Blitzkrieg and Grind entryway sets that I was selling. I think I only have a couple of them left, but with a whole bunch of the batteries. I want to keep those where I'll know where they are because I will inevitably need more when I make more things like that. Oh, I have an entire box of unopened nitrile gloves. Let's go. I didn't know I had spares in reserve. I knew I had these. Ah, big day. Like I said, one of the really nice things about doing this this kind of cleaning, where you're just wholesale going like, "Hey, let's get it done. Let's do it. This is it. I'm done with this mess." You find stuff that you didn't know you had. You find stuff you forgot you had. For a while, my wife was doing some wood carving on her Cricut machine and was making combination ruler bookmarks. And these were just some prototypes that she had done with some little drawings she did that the machine could carve into them. And then when she hit them with stain, it would sort of color them in. These are all just prototypes she did. I don't throw her prototypes out because I don't know where she is in the process with those. So I like to keep those where they can be found again. These jars, how's this paintbrush doing? They're coming back to life. It's getting there. Ooh, it's a lot of work. All right. That's going to go right there. These jars are going to have to go, but they're full of liquid, which means they have to be dumped upstairs, which means for now, I'm going to set them over here by the stairs so I can take them up later. I hate walking off camera. I hate leaving you guys, but thankfully most of the work I need to do is like right here. These containers are shot. These have so much old resin kind of caked onto them that they are never going to get clean. Just picking them up kind of got stuff on my hands. Don't love that. These containers are okay. This one can definitely go. Oh my goodness. A lot of the spare wood chunkies here, anything that's like really not good, that's like, you know, oh, it's old plywood that's kind of all wrecked and nasty. A lot of that's going to end up in a burn pile. Just easier than like finding somewhere to throw it out. And it definitely doesn't have any like real use left to it. These Ziploc bags I like to keep with the 3D print stuff because I often need to seal things from the 3D prints. That can go in the trash. That's not needed. Oh, here we go. Oh man, this is great. Yeah, again, finding stuff I forgot I had. Fantastic. I needed all these scrapers. These are incredible 3D printing tools. You need plastic scrapers and metal scrapers of a very specific variety that can't hurt your build plates in order to get the plastic off of the builds when they're done. So glad to have found that. Oh, here's a fun prop. This is one of the first things I ever 3D printed that I really used. This, if it shows up in the light, it's got a little dust and dirt on it. But this is meant to look like a headphone piece that would go on a production headset. And it's got some Velcro here, and I had the other half of the Velcro on a set of headphones, and I used it as a prop for some Perry promos where I needed like a producer standing off screen. It just is like a visual gag. That doesn't need to be thrown out because I will almost certainly use that again. In fact, I don't want to spoil anything. I've been talking with a few people in production about doing a bunch more sort of filmy projects. And I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, tweezers can stay here. Just need to go over the tools. These are both trash. Yeah. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me while I clean up my workshop tonight. If you have any questions about 3D printing or miniature making or toy making, feel free to put them in the chat. I will be periodically glancing over and checking to make sure that I'm not leaving you all hanging too badly. But yeah, making toys for, gosh, 6 years now. And I've sold plenty, and I've done plenty that were just for me, my own little projects. Oh, that's where some of my Dremel stuff went. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, there are things, because when I got back, I got so deep into just the work of what I was doing. There are parts of the new infrastructure I'll put in place when my wife redid the basement here that I never really even got to see. Like I was just too in it too quickly. when Delta House wanted me to join their crew and become Delta Force, which we did. This is the card they sent me, addressed to PVV. And on the inside it says, "We need a monster truck," and it is signed from Rocker Boy Nick Robles and Dante Drago is the best. That stays. That stays. That's gonna go right up here. Yep, that stays. That's a fantastic, wonderful, and silly souvenir, which is exactly my speed. Okay. These are more in progress parts. Here's an early prototype of the first Perry Hasbro. You can tell it's early because the head doesn't really connect correctly. I hadn't really worked that part out. The eye paint job is a nightmare. But otherwise, it's not a bad little figure. My hair was shorter then, so this design didn't really bother me too much. It's glossier than I would like, but it's good. It's nice. I don't hate it. You know, I certainly, once I refined it a little bit past that point, I sold them and they were very popular. The Adam X67 says, "Where did you put the Canadian stunt cycle I sent you? It's like you're wearing mascara in that figure." It's true. It's true. The Canadian stunt cycle lives upstairs. There's a shelf next to my where I stream usually, next to my computer. That is all like toys that have been gifted to me by fans and stuff. So like I have a number of like little miniatures from Nicka Beans and some other items. Ooh, we might have to do a toy giveaway. What do you guys think? Who would be interested in very imperfect, actually not bad, very imperfect print prototypes that are transparent of Perry with the Grind Grand Championship and a transparent print of Delmy Exo? Who would be interested in those? We might have to do a toy giveaway. I'm keeping those out. I like those. All right, I got some more prototype pieces. Yeah, all kinds of weird little prototypes. Like I could probably, yeah, some of these could get snapped together, I guess. Like, I'll show you a little of what I have laying around over here. Nicka Beans is super in it. Oh, damn, tell me. I challenge anyone to a dart match for these figures. Maybe we'll do like a giveaway. I'll come up with some sort of like incentive thing. But yeah, I've got like spare Perry arms that are not painted yet. Oh. Spare Perry heads that are unpainted. This is the version 1 head. Now the head is sort of part of the torso. Perry V1 legs that are unpainted. These are Rip Bison transparent legs, the only transparent part of his figure I seem to have. Maybe there's more. These are Perry arms that were printed in flesh color that I may actually still get some use out of. They're in really good shape, and I did just order flesh colored resin for the new ones, although they are both left hands, so I don't know. Oh, you know what? There's some print fail in this model, so no, I won't be using those. I won't use things that are good. Yeah, these all those prototype pieces, I don't know. They're gonna have to go in like a little box and get put away somewhere. All right, we got just straight up trash sitting everywhere that those who have watched my crafting streams know that I don't keep a trash bin nearby. I sort of do this move. When I've got stuff I need to get rid of, I just chuck it out of the way and I say, I'll take care of that later. I'm on stream right now. I'm talking to people. And that's all well and good, but I often don't bother to do the other half. Here's one that is going to become a monster truck. This is a Volkswagen Rabbit pickup diecast from Hot Wheels. I do have a number of these in different colors. This one was like from a Dollar Tree, and I got a few of them that I can rip apart. I try to keep one of each of these because that's the truck I drive. So that goes with the rest of the to be customized toys there. All right, now we got some more bits and bobs and pieces. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Spare car chassis and wheels are over here. I still need to design my replacement tank treads for the Bigfoot Fast Tracks. That goes in the projects pile. That piece is trash. See, now I got some bits and bobs of broken old monster trucks here. And I have a collection of those over here. Put it in the box with those. Yeah, all of that can go right there. This empty filament box can come over here. This bag with a silica gel pack can go there. Silica gel, really useful if you do filament printing, because again, it is hydrophilic. It will soak the moisture right out of the air. But if you put them in Ziploc bags with silica packs, are less likely to do that. Not impossible, but less likely. I do like to keep the filament boxes because I find they are a very convenient size for toys when being sold or shipped. So that will go with my shipping materials. Yes, I have a whole shelf of shipping materials. Those who have ordered toys and things from me know I take great care in how I pack them. But yeah, I think we're going to have to raffle off some prototype pieces. Those of you who are crafters, those of you who like collecting weird oddities, I suppose, it could be good for all of that. Here is a early prototype I did for the wind-up toy playset. The little ridge here being the outline. So if you had two in here fighting each other, one falls out, he loses. One falls over, he loses. And then when you're done, you open the little latch, and you can store them inside. And like I say, that may still come to fruition. I think the sun hasn't fully set on that project. Okay. Oh, there's one. Oh, is that still good? No, that's no good. That's a shame. All right. This is massive improvements. This is great. Oh, my close-up goggles. We're doing very careful painting. I just had to watch the video and see how that looked. That was awesome. All right, they can hang up this out of the way. Here, and these can hang up right there. All right. Got power tool chargers that need to stay put. More spare cables to things. All kinds of spare cables to things. My goodness. Got my airbrush out, collecting dust. Not a great situation for it, but better than sitting in a box somewhere going unused. More in the prototype department. When I was making the wind-up toys, I went smaller than that original model. The square design, one, wasn't looking quite right, and two, really didn't it was too heavy. It's too heavy. It wasn't giving the toy style that I want, but I will keep that around because we may auction that off as well. All right. More sticks of various types. This stuff stays here. This has to go. This is good. This whole area to clean it, I'm going to have to throw the gloves on, so I'm going to wait on that. Over here, we got citrus strip. We got wood glue. All this stuff can stay here. It's just got to get out of the way. Good. Good, good, good. Got painting clamps. Got more of them here. All the painting clamps I like to keep together. Oh, yeah, I have my my little ride truck attachment that we were working on together forever ago. That still needs to be finished being painted. Goes in the active project box. Is anyone finding any of this cathartic, or is it just me rambling while I wander off screen? Like, I'm not going to change what I'm doing, but I just want to know how it is. All right. clamps can all go in the newly anointed clamp box. Stick in the trash. Drying racks are all going to go together. I have 3 of them that I've constructed. And they can all sit together. They kind of stack into each other, which is nice. Design them that way. This one's in rough shape. I don't know if I'm keeping that one. But drying racks can all go back against this. Great. Great. I'm going to find a 1/24th Samson truck and customize it into a Perry Von Vicious monster truck and send it to you. But then I looked on eBay and nearly crapped myself at the prices. Cheapest was $50. Oh my God. That's crazy. That is crazy. I thought you'd be better off buying some clay and sculpting the arms yourself, which I do have a fair bit of modeling clay here. I've not gotten great at sculpting with my hands. I'm much better sculpting digitally, but it's something I'd like to get better at. I think it's a valuable skill and one that I have yet to gain any notable mastery over, and that bothers me. I don't like things that I'm not good at or things that I haven't tried. I like to cross things off of that list. And I don't have to be great at everything. I just want to be serviceable. You know what I mean? Like if someone asks me to do a thing, I can at least do it to a point where they go, "Oh, hey, good, thanks." You know? They don't have to stand in amazement of my work, but you know, I would at least like to be okay at it. There are, of course, mouse poops everywhere because I live in the middle of the woods. There is no such thing as a completely rodent-free home in the middle of the woods. This is also a drying rack of sorts. To a casual onlooker, it is a piece of terrible styrofoam packing material, but when you poke toothpicks and paper clips into it, it gives you little pieces that little monster truck tires can sit on while the paint dries. So this is, believe it or not, an invaluable little tool that came free in something. So it's going to go here with the drying racks, where it can be safely stored upright. It's out of the way. I'll follow this down. Okay. Not bad. This is going better than I thought. I just looked at the time and couldn't believe how quick some of this is going. And I've been ranting and raving and giving tours and things rather than really focusing and working hard. So what I think I want to do, move this camera stuff out of the way. That's its own problem. This is going to be the focus right now because I need to get this new equipment out. And we want to do the unboxing. That's like an exciting part of what we're doing. Some of the resin cleaning will still go on over here, but the machine cleaning and curing, I think, will go on more over here. I need to start moving some pieces around and see how the space sort of opens up to me. Part of it is going to be based on like where plugs are available. Part of it is going to be just like, how much do I want to move drippy resin across the space? Do I want to try to keep it in one spot? And I think I do. So I'm going to say one of my first instincts is that the drying section, where after it's been cleaned, it needs to dry off. That's going to come down here. And for that, I do need all of those things. I also need this, potentially. This may go away. This is a jar of 99% isopropyl alcohol that I use for sort of the final cleaning phase of my toys after I've scrubbed them down in these larger tanks of alcohol, most of which is going to be rendered unnecessary by these amazing tools that we bought with channel rewards, which still I kind of can't believe. All right, this will fit over this, and I like that. Like that a lot. Will it fit over this, or is it just a little bit too... Yeah, actually, that's okay. That's all right. That'll go right like that. Good. Those can go there. The gloves, I think, can go back against this. This is trash. I have entire unopened packages of paintbrushes. Guys, I've got so much good stuff here that I'm like rediscovering again. Yeah, I can't recommend highly enough cleaning your space after a while when you've either not used the space enough or not used the space well enough. Either giving a good cleaning after, you end up with all kinds of good surprises. Now, a lot of this I am just throwing on the floor. I'm going to hit this with a vacuum off stream. I think watching someone vacuum on stream is stressful in an auditory way that I don't want you all to have to endure. This is trash. This is still good. Can go there. This is, very important. Yeah, these are all resin filters. Excellent, excellent. Resin filters are important because when you have finished using a particular type of resin in your machine, you have to switch it out for different resin, whether it be two different types of materials, like two plastics that behave differently, or two different colors of plastics. When you get it all out, you have to put it back in its jar so it can be reused. But if there's little bits of cured resin in there, you don't want those in there. That'll ruin future prints, and it kind of messes with all the resin that's left in the jar already. So you have to put it through a very fine mesh, and the stuff is so thick, and it's so slow to get through it. It will take me a project that should take 15 seconds cleaning the resin out of that will take 15 minutes because I'm just waiting for like a funnel with a mesh in it to drain. But it's a step you can't skip. You really can't skip it. All right. Let's see, this is trash. This is a tool that needs to go somewhere else. Good. Good. It's trash. This goes over here. Already I've done the thing I said I wouldn't do. And I started touching things that have bits of uncured 3D print resin on them. And that stuff is ubiquitous. It is ubiquitous. Once it gets somewhere, it gets everywhere. It's ubiquitous, and it is disgusting, and it makes me feel terrible. All right, this all needs to be reworked. I don't want to cover the storage with the machines, but I can because they're small enough that they can move. So I think this is going to be where those two machines live. This stuff's all going to have to slide down a little more, which is okay with me. This will all go about here. Oh, hey, we don't need to take the cover off the air filter. And the air filter plug is here. I can move it down. Never mind how the electrical is here. It is a mess and it is awful, but it is how the previous owner had it set up. And there's not much I can do about it until the time comes where I can hire an electrician, which is a future goal that we're going to work toward on this channel, is getting all this rewired so that the workshop has good power. Oh, I gave that whole tour earlier. We've talked about building a basement studio. I didn't show you guys where the studio is going to go. So we're going to do another quick loop of the basement here. And hopefully I don't lose connectivity with the headphones, but we're going to do a quick loop here. I'll do it real quick. So we all recall workshop, storage of toys and materials, 3D print enclosure, resin printer, filament printer. Over here is the gym, treadmill, laundry, green screen studios back over there. This spot behind these flags, this whole area that's currently just storage for like junk lumber and stuff. This is a roughly, 6 foot by 10 foot square. And the plan is from that post to that corner, we're going to wall it off and have doors Did it again. Wait, am I back? Am I back now? It seems like I might be back. Am I back? It says it's reading them. Okay, good. Only lost them for a second. Adam NX67 popped to hydrate. I'm going to have to hydrate after the stream. All my beverages are upstairs. So I owe you one. Yeah, so it's weird because that space is not actually that big, and it is storage right now for like there's spare lumber chunks and stuff there, but it's not being used well. Like a lot of that stuff I don't need to get rid of it. So I think turning that into a studio would be great. The green screen studio on the other side of this wall is big and spacious and perfect because we have storage there. The laundry space is great. The gym space is kind of perfect. Like I don't need more room there. If I had less room, I would really struggle. And the workshop space is great and way better because my wife made better use of it. There's a little bit of some storage stuff that goes on over here that's not great, just off camera. There's a lot of like soft goods. I've got, piles of screws, all kinds of fasteners that are all pretty well organized, again, because my wife took care of that. We have paints and things that are all really well organized. There's a little bit of some toys that could be probably put away in better. Again, I have an infinite number of toys. It's absurd. Tool storage, and we do have a deep freeze because we have a homestead that we run out there. Hydrate was not effective. Not this time. But soon. All right. This is pretty well cleared off to at least where I feel okay to come in here and start our unboxing. We're ready to move into the unboxing, you guys. Are you guys amped and psyched? Because I am. It's time. This thing came a week ago, maybe a little more than a week ago, and I have been dying to open this up. So, as a quick review, and I'm going to bring the phone with me, as a quick review over in the resin print station. Okay, we have 2 resin printers. When those prints are finished, they come out here onto this messy workstation, which is okay. This is messy on purpose. This gigantic, again, you see the size of the gloves in my hand. This is a big bin. That is isopropyl alcohol. It goes in there. Every piece gets scrubbed with the toothbrush. That gets most of the uncured resin off. Most, not all. What I've been having to do, because this ultrasonic cleaner is dead, it is dead and gone and is about to be thrown away. It served its purpose. It worked hard for 4 years and then keeled over on me. Because that doesn't work anymore, once I've done this initial cleaning, I've been having to take my pieces and put them in a jar of isopropyl alcohol and just shake it and then let it sit so that all the little bits of resin that came off can sink. Then I pull them out with tweezers and they dry. It's effective, but it's a pain in the butt. So, this is going to stay. It's going to get cleaner alcohol put in it because this stuff's been pretty well used. This one's going to get tossed. All that stuff in it's going to go. Once that's all been cleaned and cured and dried, all the pieces go into this UV curing station that has a little turntable and a UV light. It's reliable, it's great, it's cheap, it fits into my shelf, which is nice, but it's not very big. This bad mamma jamma, this thing is gigantic. This thing is huge. It is a cleaning machine and a curing machine. And so we are going to open it up. This is the unboxing of the new 3D print equipment. And I am so very, very psyched about this. All right, let's, I'm going to bring my monitor over so I can see how everything's looking. Good. Let's get the box over here. And again, for some comparison, unplug this for now. For comparison, this was the container with its little tray that I used to have to wash my pieces in. And you can see the size of it is not very big. And when compared to the new machine, this is a huge upgrade. This is a huge upgrade. And I am so glad throw that machine out. I'm going to keep this little tray. This might be useful. And if it's not, I can throw it out later. All right, where's my paper towels? I just touched stuff that was gross with resin again. Get a mini fridge for down there. Oh, we have a deep freeze. Pretty good start. Also, it doesn't get hot down here. So if I bring a cold beverage down here, it's going to stay cold for a long time. All right. It's time to open this. It's time to get this out of here. Elegoo Wash and Cure Machine, the Mercury X Bundle. And again, I have all you to thank for it. This was done with a bits goal that we set. And this was something I'd been looking to upgrade to for a long, long time. It had sat on an Amazon wish list just in case some family felt generous. And it never really happened. And now, it's really happening. As George Michael would say, it's really happening, isn't it? All right. Bit by bit, we're going to work this out of here. More trash. Fantastic. Just what I needed in here. Oh, baby. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Got our user manual. And would you look? Would you lay your eyes? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, so happy right now. This is a big day. Big day. Look at the size of this thing. Holy moly. All right. Set that there. Take all of this. And now that box becomes a temporary trash receptacle. Pretty cool. That's what she said. All right. One piece at a time. This is... Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Oh, carefully packed. Look at that. Look at the size of that cleaning container. You know how many toys I could fit in that bad boy? Let me show you something. This was the space I had for toys that were going to be cleaned before. And now this is the space for the toys that can be cleaned. Come on. I just like 15x'd my capacity. We are going to be cranking out toys like there's no tomorrow. All right, now this piece, this is the UV protectant cover that goes on here when it's in curing mode, which is cool because we get to see the pieces the whole time they're curing. They're not hidden away, but we're also not spreading UV light around the workshop. So, gotta love that. All right. This is fantastic. So good. Now, I think this might actually be... Heck yeah, let's go. There's that power supply. More terrible styrofoam. Oh, and here we go. Yes, yes, yes. This is 2 machines. I should have mentioned this is 2 machines. It's not 1 machine. It is 2 machines. Because here's the base for the cleaning. This is all curing. This is all cleaning. Friggin-tastic. Now this rack here, this is because I don't even have to take the prints off the print bed to put them in here. I can attach the print bed inside the machine and it'll clean the stuff like that, which is wild. I don't know if I'm going to use it that way. I kind of like removing all the support material before I get to the cleaning. That way there's less that needs to be cleaned. There's less resin that gets mixed into the alcohol. By removing all the supports, which are also caked in uncured resin, and throwing them away as is, all that uncured stuff doesn't end up gunking up my cleaning mixture. But let's go look. We got a couple of filter pieces. We got, here is the, we got tools with screws. Okay. All right. We'll find out what that's for, I'm sure. Here's our deep fry pad. No, this is the, this goes in for the cleaning. and all the pieces can sit in there and not fall out, which is real nice. Real nice. Save this for shipping. Free bubble wrap. Let's go. All right. Oh, yes. There's the mixing bit. Here's our, that's right. These are the UV lights that go over on this half. Oh, this is great stuff, you guys. I'm so psyched right now. All right. It sits like that. Good. All right. We go like that. Some of this is going to require reading the instructions. Boo. But generally, we're looking pretty good. Oh, one plug runs both machines. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Only one plug? Let's go. It's going to save me a lot of space. Oh, hell yeah. Come on. More free bubble wrap. You know, the savings just keep coming. The gift that keeps on giving. This is going to be needed for the next person who orders toys from me. I've got a few orders that are kind of waiting. I know Joey Nails' toys may have been delivered today. I'm not sure. Have to double check on them. Okay. Go ahead and set this lid over here. Let's get this off of here. Guys, this is a huge day. I haven't gotten new 3D print equipment in some time. The equipment I have is really good, I should say. Like, it's good equipment. So, like, that's part of the reason. But some of it is a little dated. And some of it, where I could, I skimped a little bit because, you know, I'm thrifty. And if I could work with smaller cleaning and it just took me more time, I was willing to do that rather than spend money on the equipment. But this, luxury. All right. I suppose since I'm about to start plugging light pieces into plugs, probably double check our user manual here. This is important. We got to get this set up correctly. Good. Oh, that seems right. Set these rack pieces out of the way for now, as they are not of particular importance at the moment. Looks like this sits in here, not like that, but like that. Oh, nice, good. And then it does look like this, in fact. Yeah, it can sit right on top of it. Oh, that's cool. Nice, nice. All right, we'll piece that together after. I'm digging how that goes together. And yeah, it does look like these literally just attach right on. Beautiful. Love that. Okay, that's where the screws come in. Attaches these to this. Good. No argument there. That looks nice to me. All right. Plug for that. He's jealous of that. I got this new 3D print equipment. He's jealous of that. Guys, I missed my soundboard. Okay. Goes. There. I do think before I screw these in, I'm going to plug this in and make sure they turn on. Don't want to have to unscrew anything. I'm still waiting for you to give me a better idea of what I can get based on what I want. Oh, I messaged you earlier. I would check and see if you'd responded already, but my phone is plugged in. Yeah, I messaged you earlier just to see which things you want. Light bar should be installed on the left side of the slot, left side slot of the machine. The machine can work normally if the two terminals below are connected correctly. Oh, okay. So let's see, this one go on the other side. I like how they only labeled one for which side it should go on. You should have labeled both of them. Okay, that's going to go there. Good. This one's going to go here. Also good. Okay, feel good about that. He's jealous of that. All right, and let's go ahead and get this plugged in. I'm going to have to shift some of these plugs around to make space. This one's over here. I have a big heavy plug here. This one's going to have to go there. This one only seems to power that. It can just sit off to the side for now because it's not really needed. Oh, and I can plug it into a different spot there. Okay, cool. Go. Let's plug this in. And let's real quick make sure these actually turn on. Okay. Well, need to read the direct. Right now, it's doing nothing. Maybe that's normal. There could be a button somewhere I'm not noticing. We'll get to that. I just responded. Okay, perfect, perfect. When I'm done with the stream, I will check. So let's read about how this works. He's jealous of that. Yeah, yeah. This is pretty cool. Touch those, good. Okay. Table, slot, and the body platform. All right, well, at the very least, we can screw it together. I don't need to mess with all the directions while we're sitting here. I just need to get this assembled. We are pushing up on what I'm going to do for the stream here, because I do have grind to get ready for this weekend. All right. Oh, something just blew. It's letting me know I'm on energy saver mode. Well, that's good. My laptop's going to die soon, so the stream will end soon, it seems. It's letting me know. It's warning me, hey, good try, pal. Can't have this laptop on this whole time without plugging it in. It used to be. Now it's weak and feeble. Some kind of giant baby. Just want to just barely screw those in. Don't need to tie it down too tight. I just need it to stay in place so I can give it a shot. See if we can. I will come back to this at some point and actually bolt everything in fully. for now, that's a fine start. Spare screws in this bag so I don't lose them, because I will lose them, because as you've all seen, basement's a mess. My workshop is a mess. More free bubble wrap. Let's go. Okay. Okie dokie. Plug that in. He's jealous of that. That anti controls okay. That all seems alright. Gotta get the protective film layer off of this thing. So always so satisfying to do that. This is so nice and clean now, and I know it won't be that way forever. Oh, that's why it wasn't turning on. This thing won't run if this isn't on, because it doesn't want you looking into the thing. Okay. Electric sensor behind the lamp board. Otherwise, the device may fail. Okay. Well, it appears that needs to go like that, and then it's going to do something, I guess. I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. Is this thing a perfect square? Does it have to go the other way? Go like that? No, it's rectangular. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to just fuss with that. How's about this? Let's do anything yet? Okay, there's definitely a step I'm missing. Is there an on-off switch somewhere on this, this plug chain here? Interesting. Well, we're going to figure that out. All right, and then this does look like it's supposed to go together. I don't know how yet. Let's see what I do with this rack. Does it not really show how it goes together? That's not really. To me, like it sort of does like this move. Not sure why. Not totally sure what it's for. Well, for now, I really only need the basket part. We can just bloop right in there. Good. All good instructions on there. Looking out for everyone's safety. Good on you, Elegoo. Okay, so that's good. I just got to figure out why none of it does anything. Maybe it's plugged into a bad plug? Could be hard to say. I would really like this to actually do something before we're done here. Aha. Hey, there we go. You guys hear that beep? It's on. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if it lights up. We gotta get the camera in here before the stream goes dead from my laptop battery dying. Let's see what it does. Put it on 30 seconds and why is it beeping at me? That's not good. All right. I thought that was going to be really more triumphant than that. Yeah? Why? Why would you do this? Starter pause. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what that's all about. Is it not reading the little safety sticker? Should be. Well, that's going to need some troubleshooting, but you get the idea. The screen did light up, though, so that's a good sign. I can set times on it. That's a big deal. Okay, and let's make sure this one turns on. Yeah, come on. Let's see if I turn this one up and then... Okay, that one's working. That one's working away. It's doing its thing. The thing's spinning in there. Oh, that's going to work. Okay. Let's see about this one. Yeah, why is it beeping? It's got to be something to do with that protective thing. Yeah, that's awesome about that. Okay, so we got one that's working just fine. That's great news. The other one needs a talking to, but it's not a lost cause. It's got to figure out what's wrong with it. So I think that's about what we're going to call it a stream, because my laptop is about to run out of battery. But this is a huge improvement. We've done a lot of work here, a lot of trash taken care of, new machines running. Just finished running its little cycle. Love that. So yeah, we're gonna call that a stream. Thank you all for hanging out with me while I worked on the workshop. It needs a lot more work, but I'm not going to make everyone sit through all of it. That would be completely absurd. Thank you for hanging out. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, streaming Stardew Valley co-stream with Johnny Torres. So come on back. I will see you then. And in the meantime, if I do it quickly enough, we should be able to raid somebody. Let me see who's doing what. If Frank Howley's watching some good wrestling or something, maybe we'll raid him. The Mega 64 guys are doing some Resident Evil again. They're fun, but we've raided them a few times. We could probably... It looks like Frank Howley's moved on to playing Forza, the new Forza. We got the sumo tournament is on. See, Bobby Gilbert's playing Forza as well. Should we raid Bobby Gilbert? Let me get back to our chat and see what everyone's saying. Should we raid Bobby Gilbert? What do we think? Raid our old pal Bobby? Everyone can watch him play. I think he doesn't talk on mic or anything, so I don't know. Maybe he does though. You know what? You gotta raid the homies. You gotta raid the people that are buddies of yours, people who've been supportive in the past. So we're gonna raid Bobby Gilbert. He'll get a big kick out of it. So when we get in there, everybody do your part. Let fly with some Perry emotes. Tell him hi, hang out, give him a follow. He will be psyched, I'm sure. Okay, and the raid is working. We're going to jump in a couple seconds. I will see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for Stardew Valley with Johnny Torres. Until then, take it easy, everybody.